My parents changed their will and cut me out completely. I found out at the reading, in front of my entire family. What happened next? Nobody saw coming. I was the oldest of 3 kids. For 15 years, I was also the only one who showed up. Every hospital visit, every move, every emergency at 3 a.m. My brother Ryan lived 2 hours away and visited maybe twice a year. My sister Dana hadn't spoken to my parents in years, until recently. 6 months before my dad passed, Dana reappeared. Flowers, phone calls, Sunday dinners. Suddenly the daughter who had vanished was the devoted child. My mother melted. I watched it happen and told myself it didn't matter. I wasn't there for the inheritance. I was there because they were my parents. But that wasn't the whole story. What I didn't know was that Dana had been talking to my parents privately, for months. I later found out she'd told them I had been complaining about them to relatives, that I called my mother difficult, that I said caring for them was ruining my life. None of it was true, but I didn't know she'd said any of it. Not until the will reading. 14 people in a lawyer's office. My dad had passed 3 weeks earlier. The lawyer read the document. The house split between Ryan and Dana. The savings split between Ryan and Dana. Everything. Then one line at the end. To my eldest, my tools in the garage, and my gratitude for her years of service. Service, like I was an employee. My aunt gasped. Dana stared at the table. Ryan looked out the window. My mother sat perfectly still. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just picked up my bag, and I left. But that's not the end. 3 years ago, my parents' house nearly went into foreclosure. My father's medical bills had wiped them out. I quietly paid off $41,000. No announcement, no contract, because they were my parents, and I didn't think I needed one. But I kept every receipt, every transfer, every record, all of it. 2 weeks after the reading, I filed a creditor claim against the estate. $41,000. With documentation. Suddenly Ryan was calling. Suddenly Dana wanted to talk. My mother left 3 voicemails in one day. I didn't answer a single one. The lawyer informed them the claim was valid. Before any distribution could happen, I had to be paid back first. The house hadn't sold yet. The savings weren't enough to cover it. Ryan and Dana had to come up with the money themselves, or delay everything. Dana, who hadn't been around for 15 years until there was something to take, had to write me a check. I framed the receipt. My mother eventually called again. She said she hadn't known about the loan, that Dana had never mentioned it, that she felt terrible. I believed her, but I also remembered the word in that will, service. So I said, I know, Mom, and I hung up. They thought cutting me out was the ending. Turns out, it was just the beginning of a very expensive lesson. I didn't need to be in the will. I just needed to keep my receipt.